Good morning, good morning.
Morning, morning.
Morning again.
Hello, cat.
I'm driving.
Oh. Oh.
Everyone ready? We're going to do the opening prayer. Opening prayer. All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstacles who harm me, and those who create obstacles to my path to liberation and damnation, may they experience happiness, be separate from suffering safely. Always till which they in the still ones are past, perfect, complete, and precious of Buddhahood. All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstacles who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and nations, may they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and safely always till which them in the still ones are past, perfect, complete, and precious of Buddhahood. Dala Dhamvara Zibe no Parazibe Ge Tarpadang Damje Jembe Barde Chubara Zeba Damje Jezo Zebe Mananga Danyambe Zemje Damje Dewa Dande Dungara Dandra Nyordu Lana Meba Yangda Bara Zobe Sanjo Rumbo Yedo Barasa Dasandra achieving enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. We take refuge in the kind rule Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the mandalas of Yadams. We take refuge in the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas and Dakinis and the Dhamma gardens, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the example of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embodied the enlightened mind and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path, are true for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to bodhicitta, and apply myself to complete each stage of the path. And the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha most excellent. I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of Janarasta and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, our happiness and the causes of our happiness. May they be liberated from suffering, the causes of our suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Seven long prayer, we do the Tibetan today. Jenye Dai So Jenye De Na Tizon Sheba Meye Singe Gen Da Ke Ma Le De Da Dam Je La Le Dang A Ye Dang We Sa Je Wo Zang Bo Je Be Mon Lan Dob Dai Ge Jarwa Tam Je Ye Je Ngong Song De Shen Ge De Nye Le Rai Do Ba Ye Jarwa Gen La Rab De San Ze Lo Durje De Na Durnye Sanje Nam Sanje Se Je We Na Yu Ba Ta Te Dara Chi Je Ye Na Ma Le Ba Tam Je Jarwa Da Ge Gan War Me Te Da Nga Bai Me Se Jam So Nam Yang Je Yen Lai Jam So Da Gen Ji Jarwa Genje Yonde Rab Ju Jen Dewara Shiba Dam Je Da Gi Tu Me Do Dam Ban Ching Wa Dam Ba Dang Senye Nam Dang So Ba Dung Jo Dang Mar Men Jo Dang Du Be Dam Ba Ye Jarwa De Da La Ne Ju Bar Je Na Za Dam Ba Nam Dang Jum Jo Dang Seme Purma Ra Nyam Ba Dang Ko Ba Je Bar Ba Ben Jo Genji Jarwa De Da La Ne Ju Bar Je Ju Ba Ga Na La Me Ja Je Wa De Da Jarwa Dam Je La Yang Me Zang Bo Jo Lai De Be Do Dai Ge Jarwa Gen La San Sa Ren Ju Bar Je Do Jia Xie Dang De Mo Wang Ge Ne Le Dang A Dang De Yin Ye Ji Jiang De Ba Da Ge Ji Ba Jin Je Ba Te Da Dam Je Da Ge So So Re Sha So Je Jia Rua Gen Dang San Je Se Ran Jia Ran Nam Dang Lo Dang Me Lo Dang Ro Wai Gen Je So Nan Gang La Yang Te Da Gen Je Ji Se Da Ye Rang Gang Nan So Je Je Den Ro Me Da San Jo Ren Bar San Je Ma Jia Ni Gong Bo De Da Da Ge Dam Je La Ko Lo La Na Me Ba Go War Gor Nyang En Da War Ji Gen De Da La Ro Wa Gen La Bin Jen De Ve Se Karba Shen Ge Der Nye Yu Ba Yang Da Ge Da Mo Ra Je So War Je San Zer Wa Dan Ju Jen Xia Ba Dan Ji Se Ye Ran Gor Jen So Wa Ye Ge Wa Jung Se Da Ge Je Sa Ba Tam Je Zo Be San Jo Zer Ngo Wo. Short mandala offering. Today we chant the Tibetan. Sa ye be je zo ye me do zhang re ra len ye nye de jin ban de san je yen la me de bur wa ye ro ge nam dai yen de je wa re shu Gu zong yong zo la me zo nam la se nan san song de yin ye jin chu da le long jue nan ze yong ye la la min cho ge nge zhe zar de zo Whatever merit I have gathered through postations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, or this I dedicate. Om Guru Rena Mandala Punza Manga Samandra Savaran Samaya Ho. Supplication to Lord Jitin Songo. I call refuge on the name of the world. Your fame provides the 3,000 words. You the victor, Vajradhara, widow adore. I bow at the feet of Father Jitin Songo. Continue laughing with no one but you. Compassion and grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unlimited nature of mind. Please turn the way of Dharma of the two vehicles and their combination according to disposition and likewise the mental capacity of sentient beings. Now we go to Chinrezek Sadhana. Chinrezek Sadhana, page 24. This Chinrezek Sadhana I shared with you later be yesterday. This sadhana is followed by generation stage and completion stage, two different levels. So first section is a generation stage, and we visualize where we are living. This place is transformed to the Chinrezek pure line. The Chinrezek pure line is called Potala. Potala is Chinrezek pure line palace. So then we visualize pure line over Potala. The visualization is a self-generation stage. It directly go to our self is Chinrezek meditating. In Tibet, we have a Potala palace. So I think that's a representative, you know, His Holiness Dalai Lama is Chinrezek and the Compassion Buddha. So the palace is called Potala. And so now we visualize wherever we stay in this ordinary, impure, this world or impure, the place is transformed to the Potala. Realm of Potala is Chinrezek's pure line. Then Buddha line white on a lotus and moon seeds. So then we visualize white lotus and the moon seeds. I appear in the form of Noble Avalokiteshvara. We ourselves visualize Chinrezek. So then Chinrezek first two hands is hands are joined at heart. So holding the wish fulfilling giver. That's representative is Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is the same as wish fulfilling giver. And then the lower two holds a crystal rosary and a white lotus. Crystal mala rosary is representative like liberating sentient beings from samsara to nirvana, because you pulling one by one beads, you know, mala beads, and like that, liberating beings free from samsara. And then white lotus is representative is Chinrezek's compassion, many manifestations going to different realms, benefit other beings, reborn to his Chinrezek manifestations, and the different realms benefit others. So then that's the symbolize, you know, Chinrezek forehand. First two is Bodhicitta, and then second right hand is liberating. Left fourth hand is the emanations due to compassion, benefit for others. So this forehand also representative four measurables too, four measurables. Chinrezek is embodiment of 4 measurables: love, compassion, and joy, equanimity, 4 measurables. So that's what we're visualizing, and then our self is Chinrezek. So then Chinrezek is a Sambhokayana form, body. So the ornament or is a Sambhonakaya ornaments. The top of the Chinrezek, the Buddha Amitabha, or the surrounded the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, gather like the clouds. So we visualize like that ourselves, Chinrezek, and all the top of our heads, Buddha Amitabha, or the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Then our Om Ahom, because we visualize ourselves, Chinrezek, Om Ahom, 3 syllable. In center stream out rays of light, inviting house of wisdom deity who dissolve indivisibly. So Om Ahom syllable like that is inviting wisdom beings dissolve to us. So our self is called Samaya being. Then inviting the being is called wisdom being. Dissolved to wisdom being is dissolved to Samaya. Samaya and the wisdom is become inseparable. So that's the visualization. Then mantra galing. And the center of my heart on a lotus and a moon disease. So our heart center, lotus, then moon, top the syllable sh, we visualize the syllable sh. So surround the mantra like Om Mani Padme Hum. So clockwise. So then Om Mani Padme Hum mantra and the sh syllable, center sh syllable, like stream out, making offering to the noble ones. And we also visualize the Chinrezek and many Buddhas in front of us. So we offering to them, noble ones, and purify the obscuration of all beings. Then like stream go to 6 realms, purify all 6 realms karma. The whole environment become the realm of a Mon Potala. So visualize this, mantra galing like go to 6 realms, or this 6 realms is transformed to the Chinrezek pure line. We have to meditate like that, cultivating, meditate, Potala. When we chant the mantra, then not always the mantra galing. So you can do sometimes mantra galing like that is. Sometimes you meditate like this way. Or that effort is the form of great compassion one, or the form, seeing form is become Chinrezek form body. That helps inner sentient beings, impure inner sentient being, ordinary beings is transformed to the Buddha's form body. Then all songs of the speech of 6 syllable mantra. So 6 song, whatever we heard the song is 6 syllable mantra. And all thoughts of the wisdom mind of emptiness and the compassion, whatever thoughts arise, then wisdom mind of emptiness, you recognizing, thoughts itself is emptiness. Thoughts itself is not exist. Emptiness, and then same time realize emptiness with compassion, emptiness, inseparable. Out of genuine nature, beyond grasping and all providing a recite mantra. Then we also stay in the nature mind, chant the mantra. So when you meditate, your mind be in the nature, chant the mantra. So that time you are true to Chinrezek. It's more powerful. Pray chant when you chant the mantra, it's more powerful. So there's just very short information, but actually is very important how to visualize. You know, this whole generation stage is covered only these sections, so you understand how to do meditate, practice self-generation. Then actually all the other sadhanas, different Buddhas, Yidam deities, all same thing, using like exactly same way meditating, follow the same thing. Some has a longer, some has a short sadhanas, but main important meditation is the same. So yeah, then especially here is mantra garland section is very beautiful. So you know you can use mantra garland, and also then form is visualize the Chinrezek, song is mantra, thought is dharmakaya, and your mind is into the nature, chant the mantra. So that's the whole generation stage practice. Okay, so now we're going to chant together, practice. First, we do the English in the center of the pure realm of Potala, brilliant white on a lotus and mountain seat. I appear in the form of noble Avalokiteshvara, white and radiant, with one face, 4 arms, and 2 legs. My first 2 hands are joined at my heart, and the lower 2 hold the crystal rosary and a white lotus. I wear silk and jewel ornaments, and my seated legs are crossed. And adorning my crown is Lama Amitabha, Buddha of boundless light. All around are Buddhas and Bodhisattvas gathered like clouds. From the on are hung at my 3 centers, stream out rays of light. Inward in the house of wisdom deity who dissolve indivisibly. In the center of my heart on lotus and among the seeds is the syllable Shri, surrounded by the mantra garland from it. Legs stream out, making offerings to the noble ones and purify the obscuration of all beings. The whole environment becomes the realm of Mount Potala. All that appears is the form of great compassionate one. All songs the speech of the 6-syllable mantra, and all thoughts the wisdom mind of emptiness and compassion. Out of a genuine nature, beyond grasping and all providing, I recite the mantra. Now we're going to do the Tibetan. 1 minute is I have a noisy somewhere. I have to close the door. Sorry about. Dagbe Jingam Boda La Yevi Ravkara Be Mai Dave Din Din De Ranye Bagwai Jinre Zijika Kasara Sharje Saye Shamni Ba Tambo Sanye Tukara Dharmo Jar Oma Nije Shenren Bekara Nam Tardan Renchin Jinden Chirong Yo Chewo Lama Oba Mebe Jin Korda Sanje Sansem Jindar De Nesong A Hongge Uzur Je ye xie la zo jin rang ni mi den tu we pe de den la ye ge re den tar nga jin ching we go wa le ong jin pang chun ro gen zhe ba jong qin kang dam jie re wo da le yin na wa tam jie tu jie qin bi ge da da tam jie ye ge zhu pe song Trinh tô tham chế tô nhé nhìn chế thô Dinh mi chạp đà nhung mê ngang nê đà Om mani padme hum 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 Om mani padme hum. So now we're going to share the teaching here. Tamge doje shaje reza rong yinje mazo deje bunjong ba serje lembo tavre jipe ge shaje jarbe shala ge sanze Tojen chanje de lo naro dang marba malai jije gambo ba Pamoy zhuba jarwai di gongbe Kaju lama nalan juba zorwan de romen yeje yenje bobrang ne Desom sanje genje ngowo nye Ransen chike ngozom donzebe Zawe lamme shala zorwan de Okay, so now I'm going to sharing the 37 practice of Bodhisattva. This 37 practice of Bodhisattva is writing by Ngurche Thomi Zambo. So as, this has 37 verses. Actually, maybe 40 verses, like homage and also second verses, and of the some dedication section too. So this main teaching has 37 verses. The also big virtue of a beginning, virtue of middle, virtue of conclusion. So usually we talk about 3 different levels. Virtue of beginning is homage, and also the Buddha is a source of happiness. So it's come from, have to understanding the Dharma first. So have to know the practice. Then that is the virtue of beginning. The virtue of middle section, main section has 37 verses. So we finish it. I think verses 4 finished. So now we are in the verses 5, correct? Okay. So I have a very short memory. Even yesterday, what I did, I forget already. So next week, you really needed to me reminder where we stopped. Today is better because short time, yesterday only. Okay, so now we go to the verses 5. When you keep their company, your 3 poisons increase. Your activities of hearing, thinking, and meditating decline, and they make you lose your love and compassion, give up bad friends. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. So this is like our friends talking about the friend. So some, like especially negative friends. And if we too much be with negative friends, then that's influenced by us. So we lose our compassion, love, others, meditation, practice dharma, spiritual, or it's going to decline, going to lose. So that's why it's we have to keep the spiritual good friends. Spiritual good friend is a sangha, called sangha. So this is actually also when you take refuge, the sangha, and then you have to avoid negative friends. So negative friends avoid is there actually explain many different kind. Some says never eat with them. Some says never go with them, never talk with them. So that kind of, like many different suggestions in this commentary that give you so many different kind so instructions. Actually all this is like depending individual level, So some like Dharma practitioners can talk with these negative persons and be with them that not really affected that much. Maybe you can influence to them too and bring to the spiritual too. So if you have that ability, then you can talk with them, you can be with them too. But they are more powerful than you. They're going to influence you. So then you try to avoid them. Otherwise, your spiritual practice is going to decline too. Then this is like we say, just give up bad friends. Bad friends is like someone always does negative things. They don't believe cause and effect. And they don't accept anything about spiritual benefit others. So they're due to actually their ignorance and obstacles. So they can easily affected to practitioner. Like practitioner means like especially for beginners. Beginners, easily the negative friends can affect it. So then if you recognize they're going to affect your practice, then just you don't need to create enemy that person. So try to just avoid, not less talk with them, less time be with them. If you eat with them, just that is no, I don't think so that too bad. But most important is you have to recognize that that person really going to taking you to the wrong direction. So you then avoid that person, or you just recognize and don't go that direction. So that's most important. So this negative frame actually, of course, increasing all our emotions, 3 poisons increasing. And our or the spiritual quality is going to decreasing. So that is like, doesn't matter who is that person, that is called negative friends. And even your loved ones also take you to these directions, that's also you have to give up too. Not like pointing someone negative friend means like someone like outside of your family, can be in your family too. So your family, if the negative friend means like really going to influence to you to taking in the wrong direction, so you can avoid, like you don't need to accept that, and you don't do together that kind of activity together. So you really cannot give up physically, go to separate, but you activity you can, make separate, different. Example, like someone going to fishing, so husband or wife, someone really like the fishing, and you say, okay, I don't want to go fishing. So then just you give up that, you don't go that. If you accept that, then the fishing, of course, is also no virtuous deeds. Like you hook some other live beings in the mouth. It's terrible, even you're not killing them, but it's terrible. So you have to recognize like that. You say, okay, even husband or wife, I cannot do that. We can do something different, maybe hiking on the mountains. Yeah, I can go with that, no problem. So I'm not going to do that. So you can avoid that. You have to avoid that. Yeah, so you can do many fun things. That is okay, but you really recognize that affected your practice or something. It's against like peace and compassion. Then you have to avoid that. So fishing example, or hunting, or many like these activities, people just doing fun things, but it's many negative activities there. You can do some more better than that, fun things. You can enjoy something without the negativity activity. So anyone your family try to do that with you, then you just say, no, I cannot do that. You have to avoid that. Otherwise, like also that against we take refuge sangha, broken the commitments. When we take the refuge sangha, we're not going to influenced by negative friends. So that's we promise. Take refuge to Buddha is we're not going to take refuge who don't have a compassion, who don't have wisdom. So you can be with them, you can use that, like same is like your friends, but you can be haramani with them, but no need to take refuge who don't have compassion and wisdom. Okay, so take refuge to Dharma, commitment is no harming for others. So this negative friend means like who harming for other beings, create causes of suffering. So that is a negative friends. If we go with them and then slowly our, like the affected, slowly decreasing our spiritual qualities. You don't recognize. Sometimes you think it's okay, but that really slowly affected, decreasing. The negative friend means like actually who don't follow the cause and the effect, who don't believe cause and the effect. Okay, so now verses 6. Then that is the opposite of the verses 5. Verses 6 and 5. 5 is negative, 6 is positive. So then which kind of friend we rely on, which kind of like friend we need, we rely on which kind of friend. When you rely on them, your force come to an end, and your good qualities grow like the waxing moon. So if you rely on some good friends, your thoughts come to an end, like your wrong, like negativity, wrong thoughts, wrong view, or is resolving, gone, and you get more or increasing your love, compassion for others. Also, then good quality grow like Waximo, love, compassion, and your spiritual qualities like grow like the Waximo. So that is the Sangha actually, Sangha. Sangha also must be Haramane too. Haramane is most important, is Haramane, Sangha means. The Sangha also followed by 3 different levels. We Vinayana recognize, Mahayana recognize, Vajrayana recognize, all is different levels. So, example, we take refuge, Hinayana, basic teaching, Buddha is most important, Hinayana tradition. Buddha is the supreme refuge. And then Dharma and the Sangha. Okay, Mahayana tradition is that Dharma is most important. Supreme refuge to Dharma. Vajrayana tradition, Sangha is most important. Taking refuge is Sangha actually. That means like long as you have a Sangha, you have a Buddha, you have a Dharma. No Sangha, then Dharma and Buddha cannot benefit. Also Vajrayana tradition, Sangha means our body, Dharma means our speech, Buddha means our mind. So long as you have a Sangha, it's all these 3 jewels or 3 triple gem is there. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is all there. That's the reason Vajrayana tradition is Sangha is most important. So that's why we have to rely on the Sangha. Sangha helps also each other, helping, create good qualities, support each other, then grow like the Waximo, our spiritual practice is growing. Same as the moon. First moon to all the way 15th moon, grow like the Waximo. Cherish spiritual teacher even more than your own body. Then also spiritual teachers even more on the like your body have to think about is kindness, grit. So that's also helps your quality is arising. Spiritual teacher actually, like student has devotions, not devotions to spiritual teacher, is teacher don't get any benefit. But as long as you have spiritual teacher has devotions or like you recognize kindness, and then that helps you is arise your devotion and love, compassion. So that's actually really benefit ourselves. Sometimes these sections like people misunderstanding or have a like cherish spiritual teacher like even more than on your body. That's is kind of like we say think too much. Some people say think too much. So also like sometimes like why we have to think this way, this is incorrect. Many people kind of like thoughts. But this is not talking about worldly activity, talking about spiritual dharma. So spiritual dharma and worldly totally different. Spiritual, you have like this kind of motivation, like cherishing spiritual teacher even more than your own body. That helps your good quality is arising. So that's also very important. I have this part also my own experience. Received teachings from many teachers. So and think about their kindness more, and so that like how they are important for me because they're giving so much teachings. I think that helps my mind is become more or go to, the like spiritual path. That's actually not a benefit to them or not, I don't know, but really benefit for our own mind, and our mind is go to spiritual directions. So that's why it's teach even more than your own body. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. So that's the Bodhisattva practitioners does. And then this one has a lot stories. Each this one of course have stories, but this one also have lots of stories. And before this Bodhisattvas, who care about spiritual teachers, who care about the Dharma, their exchange like their own benefit and their own body. So taking care of the spiritual teacher and also Dharma. Many stories in this part. Then we go to verses 7. Verses 7. Verses 7 is take refuge. So this right now is sharing this all is basic teaching. Beginner practitioners. These are suggestions for beginner practitioners. Bound himself in the jail of a cyclic existence. What worldly God can give you protection? Therefore, when you take refuge in the three jewels, which will not betray you. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. See, that's I just shared a little bit already. Bound the same with jail of a cyclic existence. What worldly God can give you protection? So, main point is don't take refuge other worldly God. Only take refuge to Buddha. The why these beings still stuck in samsara. They also have emotions. They has obstacles. They don't have enough compassion and wisdom. That's why these beings cannot protect us free from samsara. Temporarily, you can rely on them. Temporarily rely on them. So example, in the Buddhist has many different protectors. These many protectors are not the Buddhas. So we're giving dharma offerings. We're giving offering trees. We do many things like for offering to them, giving things to them. So that is not taking refuge to them. So we actually making haramani with them, and we really helping them, ask them don't harm for others, and create a good condition for practitioners. They can do that. They have that kind of power, but they cannot protect us free from samsara. But they can protect is like temporary levels. So that's the reason in the Buddhist ritual, many different kind of offerings to the local gods, worldly god, and also different kind of protectors. So that's also like different purpose. Everything has a different reasons. So the doing that, practitioners doing that, because helps your practice is more peacefully. They're not distracting you. And then they also helps you temporarily remove obstacles. And also you can give them, like some benefit to them. You can help them. So during this, your practice time. That's the reason we have many rituals to doing, connect with this worldly God. So worldly God means like not Buddhas, but some just different kind of beings. The can be local spirits, can be protector, Dharma protector, not Buddhas. So no wisdom beings. Can be some, like usually we some pray to something, that kind can be. But there are many different kinds. They are not Buddha because they don't have same compassion as Buddha. They don't have same wisdom as Buddha. So they are stuck still in samsara. So that's why long as we take refuge to Buddha, we cannot take refuge to this worldly God can give you protection. They cannot give protection. If you are sinking in the water, someone don't know how to swim, then how can they save you? So these beings like that, these beings like also they're stuck in samsara. Example, like we are sinking in the river, they're also sinking in the river. They don't know how to swim to save others. They cannot be safe guide. So like that, these beings cannot protect us, cannot rely on to them. Therefore, when you take refuge in the three jivas, which will not betray you. So three jivas which not betray you, this the practice of bodhisattvas. You take refuge to Buddha, then that is unmistaken refuge, taking refuge, never wrong. 100% is correct. I will not betray you. Okay, so that's the refuge. Then we take refuge, three jivas is Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So Buddha is the same as the example, like just, beginning level, we share the examples. Buddha is the same as a doctor. We are same as the patients. And so we are taking refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. We are same as the patients. Patients don't know what the problem, the disease or sickness. Then they have to see doctor. So Buddha is the same as a doctor. Patients taking temporary example, patients taking refuge to doctors. Then Buddha is the same as a doctor. The doctor is also who has extremely love and compassion with wisdom. So cares about the doctor, cares about the patient is the same as own child. So like that kind, doctor is example is the same as Buddha. Then the doctor knows, because the doctor has compassion and wisdom, he tries to help much ever he can do. So what doctor can help? He provide medicine. Doctor cannot take the sickness, disease cannot removed. So doctor only provide the medicine. Same is like that. The Dharma is the same as medicine. So medicine is antidote to our illness. Same like that. Dharma is antidote to our emotions. So then what is the Dharma you think about? Dharma is love. Because love is antidote to actually anger, and also love is antidote to attachment love. Attachment love is causes of suffering. Unconditional love is antidote to the attachment love. So like that, Dharma means antidote to our emotions. So that's why we taking refuge to Dharma. And then taking refuge, Sangha means like patients, they don't know how to take care of their own, they need support for nurses. Nurses can help them to, give directions, what they have to do, what they shouldn't do, support. So like that, the Sangha means support each other, support helping for the others. It's called Sangha, taking refuge, Sangha. That's the example, three jivas means, which will not betray you. So this is the practice of Bodhisattva. Then we go to number 8. This all is for basic teaching for beginners. The Sabdur said, all unbearable suffering of bad rebirths is the fruit of wrongdoing. Therefore, even at the cost of your life, never do wrong. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. So then what Buddha said, subdue is like Buddha, Buddha said, all unbearable suffering of bad rebirth is a fruit of wrongdoing. So all the suffering of bad rebirth is falling to the lower realms, bad rebirth. Where is it come from? It's the fruit of wrongdoing. So it's sharing is talking about the cause and the effect, the karma cause and the effect. So main point, our suffering is who create our suffering. Our suffering is created by our own because we're doing the wrongdoing. So that result fruit is suffering. So we create, these causes of suffering. So that's why Buddha said suffering is all come from our wrongdoing. The main point is no creator gods there. So no one torture you, no one put you in the lower realms. Then why we are stuck in the lower realms is due to our action, our wrongdoing, wrongdoing. We create a negative karma. So this section is totally different from the other religions too. So we have seen Loktu in this world has many different kind of religions. Each religion has many good qualities due to also actually individuals' capacity and dispositions that need different kind of religions. So this, what Buddha sharing here is 100% truth, nature of phenomena. But this one not suit for someone. Then you wanted to help that person, wanted to take that person right direction. What are you going to say? You say, gods. You need make happy for gods. Do something good. Good. If God is happy, so they help you free from suffering. Yeah. So the actually different method, I think it's a different method helping for others. But that is not really reality truth. But you helping for someone, you need some different method because it's different beings need to have different capacity, dispositions, different connections. Some say, oh, gods is create us. They're happy. They feel happy, They feel they think they have something protector. God can protect. So that helps that person temporarily, their mind. So it's different levels. When you share something for your kids, you don't have to really say truth, but something you don't say truth, but kids make really happy, right? You don't have to say truth. You can make, goal is wanted to make your kids is happy. So you wanted to do something like benefit your kids is right behave. Then you sharing something, necessary truth. So that is the same as like, this, we say God create us. Same as the Christmas, like the put so many gifts under the tree. So they say, okay, someone, God, or I don't know, the long hair guy, white guy. So this saint or saint, he giving these things for us. See, like that. So that is like who believe creator gods like that. But we don't have to against that. That is a temporary benefit for the mind. And that is true. That is reality. No, it's not true, right? Because that guy, he not bring the gift or everything in under the tree. So, but parents are telling them, kids, the kids 100% believe to that, and they're so happy, enjoy. So then parents also really know the center or sentence, he not bring these things for kids, but they also kind of like trust that too. So that all is like just we create, we just what we want something, we create that. And that is all is no reality, no truth. So like that, you know, someone who accepts the creator gods and all is like that. But reality, where we are stuck in samsara because due to our wrongdoing. See, unbearable suffering of bad rebirth is the fruit of wrongdoing. Therefore, even at the cost of your life, never do wrong. So this is the many meditator, high-level practitioners that never create causes of wrong, even they give up their own life. Many practitioners have this courage because they truly understand the cause and the effect. And then they follow that. They believe, they follow that. Their knows like in this life is not important. Future life is more important than this life. So that's why they can give up their own life to protect the future life. So many meditators, high level, you know, never do wrong. This is, I mean, therefore, even the course of your life, they never do wrong. Gachino, what he shared, this frame is called Kempo Tenzin Zambo. And we have that picture, that Kempo's picture. And that person is the first Kempo come to Gar Monastery and share the way of Bodhisattva. So he has a whole way of Bodhisattva memorized. Everything is just he has memorized. When he shared the teaching, no need text. I heard he's not that higher level scholar, something, other philosophies, but he 100% practice the 37 Bodhisattva and the way of 37 practice and the way of Bodhisattva. So usually the people call his the way of Bodhisattva's Kempo. So way of Bodhisattva Kempo means like you don't really need a very high scholar something. But that means like that person is when Kino says like practitioner is low level, the practitioner is very high level. So that Kempo, he was in the 1950s, I think. So communists invite in Tibet at that time. And they torture him and ask him to, you know, how to say, speaking publicly, tell the public, no cause and effect. So he have to speak out like Dharma is wrong. So no any cause and effect. So whatever they believe for Dharma followers, they say, oh, we did it wrong. We not really, they don't have like kind of cause and effect. We don't have to follow cause and effect. So he have to publicly, you know, speaking to the others. So the communists pushing him to do that. If he don't do that, then his life is the causes of death. So then he choose the causes of his life, death. And they put in the winter, very cold weather, frozen time outside. So I don't see his fingers. He didn't have the toes, because during that time weather is too cold outside. He lost his fingers, the toes, and then he told Gachino he never ever going to say that for no cause and effect, you know, Buddha Dharma is no truth. So he don't want to speak that. The reason he told Gajin Rinpoche, he said, if I say that many people believe, I bring to many people lower realms, taking to lower realms. So that's my cause life is going is easy than that. So that's the kind of many this Bodhisattva practitioners, their cause of your life, their own life, they never do any wrong. So there are kind of many bodhisattvas. So that person is called Bodhisattva. We don't have that level, but we just know we wishing, like that kind of courage we have. Yeah. Do you understand? Okay. Then number 9. So this is that is the number 10. 8 is cause and effect, karma cause and effect. Number 9 is impermanent. The cause and the effect is I can share lots there, but I think that's enough. Most people know like cause and effect we share many times. So now we go to the number 9. Like the dew on a strip of a blade of grass, pleasures of the 3 worlds last only a while and then vanish. Aspiring to the never-changing supreme state of liberation. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. So, like the dew on a strip of blade of grass, like cold weather is like usually in the fall, right? Fall, autumn, as this. In Tibet, have a lot. Sometimes also like kind of more snow, but not really snow. It's all the grass. The top there is little bit frozen. So, do a drop of blade of grass. So then also there's sometimes like the trip of the blade of grass has like little small water, the hold, sometimes rain, and but that is like really temporary. If sun shines, disappear right away. So grass, pleasures of the 3 worlds last only a while and then vanish. So all this our samsara pleasure, enjoyment, is like that. It's very temporary. That's actually we recognize what we do in the something samsara, temporary joy, happy. It's just less only short term. That's why it's called change of suffering of change. Suffering of change. So you go to party and you enjoy, next day you get headache or too tired and you cannot get up right time and maybe you cannot get on time on your workplace. Then maybe boss fire you or like that kind of, that's all called samsara's pleasure and the causes of suffering. And or you get really good car and drive very fast and get speed ticket, that's it. Then the more suffering is to get accident. So like that, it's the temporary or is temporary pleasure of the 3 worlds last only while and then vanish, I think vanish. 3 worlds is a desire realm, form realms, and formless realms. So that's called 3 realms. 3 worlds last only a while and when vanish. Then we know all the, when we was born until now, just we think about. We get so much joy and happy, many things, but it's all is the same, it's dreaming. No, it's only memorized, that's it. And also we go through many difficulties, but then no, you think about that difficulty, go back to think about again, it's only just memorize. Whatever we go through difficulty, what we have all good things, pleasures, all this good, bad, both are same, is dreaming, no difference. The both are not exist, it's all gone. So you really cultivate this, less fixation, your doing things, your activity, less fixation, less grasping, then that helps actually you can done the job is correctly, and without the suffering you can done the job. If you have more grasping, you have more fixation, it's so hard to get the goal, and also you hard to get your job done. So, and even you get done the job, but it's causes of suffering. You have so much sacrifice yourself. So that's the reason we have to learn the what past gone so far until now. What happened our past, like you different ages here, you just go back to think about the past and until now. So then right now situation, future also same like that. Nothing is different, anything other than that. So no something so important for us. If you think I cannot done this job, I'm going to be die. But you don't need like that kind of fixations. Learn from past. In the past, we have that kind of situations. No, you look back to again. If you done that job, you don't done that job, it's the same thing, nothing different. Many like that. So it's all is like our mind so fixation, I think. And that's why we create the causes of suffering ourselves. You cultivate this again, and then right now what you have go through something difficulties, also you recognize. Same is just dreaming, then you not much stuck with that situation. You are less suffering. Could be no suffering, even you have to go through something, you no suffering. Yeah. If we so strong fixation to that, and then even the job is not that hard, but we create very hard ourselves like causes of suffering, maybe too much worry. If you really no need to worry some jobs, but we sometimes too much worry, it's causes of suffering. That's why we are worrying too much, because it's due to self-grasping and fixation. So that kind of situation always we have to go through. You just remember these verses and read, contemplate, helps you, release your fixation. So you release your fixation, then no fears, no much suffering there. In this section, actually really good words in the way of Bodhisattvas. So most people here is already started teaching, you have already way of Bodhisattva. Now you practice this 37 Bodhisattva, it's very easy, because it's all the words is pick up from the way of Bodhisattva. The way of Bodhisattva also said, if you can do some, like if you stuck some situations, situations, you maybe have a difficulty, something go through. If you can change that situation, then you don't have to worry. If you cannot change that situation, then you don't have to worry. The worry doesn't help anything, right? So that's also really powerful statement. Shantideva, his wisdom and his compassion, giving suggestion for us. Due to his compassion, wisdom, that statement is very powerful. When you contemplate that words, really helps you your go through whatever you have something go through difficulty is no you are no longer stuck suffering with that. If you can change something, then true, you know why we have to worry. If you cannot change it, then why we have to worry? Like, see, easy, very simple. So, but hard to accept that. Its words is beautiful, easy to say that, hard to sit when you get a situation, hard to accept. But you have to contemplate that words again and again, many times. Then really, really helps. You know, that's the many these master practitioners use that contemplate often and often again and again. His Holiness Dalai Lama always shared that verses often and often when he shared the Dharma teaching. So that's he said his own experience. He learned, use that often and change life. So in this 37 practice, each verses can change our life, long as we really put effort and practice. If you just listening, teaching, and you knows this all thing, but then after you receive from right ear, let go through the left ear, then when you get stuck difficult situations, then it's not there. So if you go to the grocery, get lots of food, and bring to your kitchen, leave it there, and then you maybe put in the somewhere refrigerators or somewhere. Then when you go to kitchen, you don't see that food there. You forget you have that already in your home. Then you're hungry, but then that food is just expired one day. That's it. There's no benefit. So like that, when you just listening, teaching, receive right ear, go through left ear like that. When you need, not there. So that's why each verses we have to contemplate. Also, good timing is when you really get difficulty situations, something, you know, when you get, we say, problem or difficulty situation. So then just read the whole thing, 37, which verses you really need, contemplate again and again, that one, meditate. So that time is then really powerful. It's really go into Dharma is your mind. That time then you really get your own experience, power of Dharma. Sometimes like you enjoy with your friend and dance, music, party, Dharma is never go into your ear. Even you go to air, never stuck into your mind. Okay? So Dharma is you go to your air and stuck in your mind is when you have difficulty time. Then really helps benefit. It's powerful time. That time is powerful. So that's also, see, we just learned from Gachin Rinpoche. When he was young, he has lots of teachings. He has lots of teachings, but he received teachings. He knows the Dharma, but this 37 practice, he knows this. He knows Genje Mahamudra, this most essence of teachings, Buddha's teachings. But that time, he not really ready to into the mind. So when he get difficulty in the present, then really use that teaching and the practice. It's transformed. So like that, when we also, you know, that kind of situation we get difficulty times, so that time we have to use this and the practice. It's transform life, change the life. Okay, so then if you also know this impermanent, so yesterday also I shared impermanent, then you know start with the situation because you don't have so much fixation on the grasping, and then less suffering in this life. Your life is more flexible, more peaceful. Your mind is not too tight, more flexible, more relaxed. And also, not only this life benefit, when we die, if long as you have this impermanent meditations, you know attached to your family relatives left behind. So that helps you can liberate. Your mind can liberate. If you have attachment and you're left behind when we die, then we cannot liberate. Even power cannot work for that much. So power obstacle is attachment. Our mind is attached to some object. Power cannot liberate easily. Not easy to liberate. Maybe some really high level practitioner realizes can behave us, but otherwise not possible to liberate. So that's the reason impermanent meditation helps not attached to our left behind when we die. So then someone do power us, or you can do power yourself. We can liberate to, pure line, Buddha Amitabha pure line. So then we are no need to start. We no longer stuck in samsara. So this also helps. See, you contemplate this again and again. You really see your family is also temporary, really temporary with you. Not permanent. Even we don't want to hear that. Sometimes we have our love ones, like say temporary, that word is not pleasant. People don't want to hear like that. Your loved ones always be with you, 100%, they are permanent. Then you're really happy, you like that. But that is not true. Yeah. So if truth words doesn't have pleasure, great. Same is like we say in Tibet, medicine has like tongue. Tongue is like kind of, one medicine put in the water, boiling water, boiled, and you drink, its taste is really strong. When we was young, parents forcing to drink this, we cry. So its taste is really terrible. But we say if without terrible taste, you don't drink, how can recover terrible sickness? So if you eat sweet, like you never ever carry your sickness. It's maybe more worse your sickness, disease, again, more worse and worse. If you eat ice cream, you eat candies, sweet. Yeah. So that's example. Same is like this truth, powerful words, benefit words didn't have good pleasure hearing. But it's truth, it's very powerful if long as you accept. That's the reason. So it's this section which people don't like here, impermanent. Your loved ones is temporary. Nobody like that. But it's true. So that is not only you, everyone, all samsaric beings. I'm beginning last time until no, so like that, nature of samsara. We seeing that, we know that we don't accept that ourselves, our mind. We don't like to accept. So you just mind like wanted to reject that kind of thinking, situation, but actually true. So long as you know everything is temporary, and like the dew on the travel blade of grass, pleasure of the three worlds lasts only a while and then vanish. That's it. So aspiring to the never change supreme state of liberation. Then samsara, everything is temporary, or it's like vanish easily. So now what we need, most important is aspiring to the never changing. So what is the never changing supreme state of liberation? Long as you get spirit of liberation, then you never come back to samsara suffering. We are not stuck again. We don't have to reborn samsara. Then you don't have sickness, you don't have old age, you don't have a death, sufferings, free from that. That's the Bodhisattvas recognize and meditate impermanent. Liberate is this practice of Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattvas not attached to the samsara. Then verses 10. Verses 10. Now is going into Mahayana level. So that part is like their own benefit, like what so far, like verses 1 to 10, until 10. So that is like looking to our own benefits. As we say, basic teachings. So we think about like cause and effect. We have to recognize impermanent. So then how to avoid a bad object, causes of someone like, influence causes of suffering, how to avoid that. So that's all is like kind of a basic suggestion for us. No, it's more higher level, meditator practitioner for Mahayana levels. Then they don't think about only their own problem and the suffering. They also think about others' suffering too. So far, here we didn't talk about others' suffering. Mostly talk about our own suffering, how to liberate ourselves, samsara. So that's called self-liberation teachings. So then here is starting other liberation teaching. When your mothers who have loved you since time without beginning are suffering, what use is your own happiness? Therefore, to free limitless living beings, develop the altruistic intention. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. So now, when your mothers means like talking about previous lives, and I'm beginning last time until now, we reborn samsara. Many lifetimes, countless lifetimes, reborn samsara. So during that time, we have loved, loved ones. Is when your mothers who have loved you. So that's all loved us. The previous mothers loved us. Same is in this present mother. So we have to cultivate this section. It's called love meditation. Then loved you since time without a beginning means like countless. There's we have to think about, we reborn samsara. Buddha said is many lifetimes, countless already. So we can count human beings, how many human beings in the world, maybe 8 billion human beings. So it can count, but how many times you reborn samsara? Cannot count. More than 8 billions. So that means all these human beings used to your mother. Yeah. And more than that, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 6 times, like, billions means like you can count 8 billions, like 100 billions, 10,000 billions. See, that means like not only one time you use your mother. So one person being your mother is many times already. Same is in this present mother. So that's why when your mothers who have loved you since time without beginning are suffering. So no, my mother's suffering. So then, what use is your own happiness? Then why is our own happiness is so important? See, all our mothers suffering, your have happiness, that no makes sense. So the main point, because these loved ones, your loved ones suffering, you have happiness, that only no makes sense. The main point is only you want to liberate, you left behind your own mothers. That's also the logically incorrect. That person is like example, really terrible, really bad, right? If you cross the river with your mother, so your mother is, river taking way, so you try to escape yourself, you don't help them, then that person is, in the world we say that person is a terrible person. So Bodhisattva is seeing that if they're only thinking about their own benefit, then they're not satisfied that. If they liberate themselves, they're not satisfied themselves. So that's why the Bodhisattva means like courage us. The core heroics is the benefit for others. They give up their own happiness, and they give happiness for others because they're seeing this clearly, the situation. So we don't recognize this. That's why we always think, I want to liberate, right? I want to free from suffering. But Bodhisattvas really, truly have this practice. That's why they don't want their own happiness. They want every being to have a happiness. They want every being free from suffering. What is uses your own happiness? Then they see their own happiness is not important for them. There's like, think about in the parents. The parents only want their own kids have happiness. They don't care their own suffering. Yeah. So they can give up everything, whatever they can do for the child. Mothers, fathers strongly love to them. So then they give up everything for them, for their own kids. So that is actually, of course, samsara's love. That's all is like has attachment love there. It's causes of suffering. That is causes of suffering. Bodhisattva's love is like that, kind of like that, but not causes of suffering. Bodhisattva's love is not love only their own family. Their love is called immeasurable love. It's for everyone. Equanimity love for everyone. So no bias. The Bodhisattva's love. And then that's the Bodhisattva has this practices, 37 practices, especially this verses 10. So they don't care their own happiness. Therefore, true free limitless living beings develop the 18 altruistic intention. Then they created the authentic altruistic intention is bodhicitta. So the bodhicitta is I want to benefit others. Then that's the reason I'm going to do something. So that is called bodhicitta. The bodhicitta usually we share like many different kinds, relative truth bodhicitta, absolute truth bodhicitta. So absolute truth bodhicitta is only starting first Pimi Bodhisattva, is who has emptiness realization. And then relative truth bodhicitta we have, when we receive the Bodhisattva vows called relative truth bodhisattva, bodhicitta. Relative truth bodhicitta has two different kinds: aspiring bodhicitta, engaging bodhicitta. Aspiring bodhicittas, we really want to do something. And aspiring bodhicittas called commitment to the result. What we want to do, I want to help others. Then what I have to do? I need free from suffering. I can help others. So otherwise, I cannot help some other people, because we already talked in the verses 7. Bound himself in the jail of a single existence. What worldly God can give you protection? So if we stuck in the samsara, we really cannot help for others. It's limited to help others. That's why this Bodhisattva say, I want to become Buddha. Not my purpose, benefit, self-liberation. But I have to help others. I must be Buddha first. Otherwise, I cannot help others, because my helping others is limited. Become Buddha, I can help others unlimited. So that's why the commitment to the result. That is called aspiring bodhicitta, commitment to the result. I want to become Buddha. Not benefit own, but wanted to benefit others. That's the reason I want to become Buddha. It's commitment to the result. Then second is called engaging bodhicitta. Engaging bodhicitta is commitment to the cost. Commitment to the cost is then where is the Buddha is come from? So we have to go back to example like beginning in the 37 practice, the second verses, like homage after second verses, note the number. Perfect Buddha, source of our well-being and happiness, arise from accomplishing the excellent teachings. And this depends on knowing the practice. So I explain the practice of Bodhisattva. Means here, the Buddha is well-being, source of all well-being and happiness, arise from the completion excellent teachings. So no is a teaching. Commitment to the Dharma. No is commitment to the Dharma practice. So now we wanted to become Buddha. Where is the Buddha has come from? The Buddha has come from Dharma. So now is your commitment to the Dharma. That is called the commitment to the cause. The called engaging bodhicitta. Engaging bodhicitta is practice Dharma. You put effort, you are into the practice of Dharma, is called engaging bodhicitta. So these two comes together, is called bodhicitta. Commitment to the result, commitment to the cost. And aspiring bodhicitta, engaging bodhicitta. If you have only aspiring bodhicitta, you don't engaging, then no action. You have just kindness mind, but you really cannot do anything. So if you say, I'm going to do good generosity for others, actually you don't have money to giving to others. So because you're not working, so then just empty promise become. Aspiring is not enough, right? Without aspiring, but you're not going to do engaging too. So that's why I have to come together both. Example, today, like you have a both. Today, I always share this in the teaching. You wanted to join listening, teaching, 37 practice. That is aspiring bodhicitta. You are into the zone until now is called engaging bodhicitta. So if you wanted to join the teaching, I wanted to listen and teaching, I want to cultivate 37 practice, my own benefit for others' benefit. I wanted to learn 37 practice. So that is called aspiring. So now you have aspiring where you come into the join the teaching, but then you don't pay intentions, you don't really listening, cultivating. You are just on the zone, but you're doing something different somewhere, off the video, and we don't know what you're doing behind there, you're not listening. So then if you have good aspiring but you don't have engaging, then you're not hearing anything teaching, so you're not going to benefit. You have only aspiring but not engaging, right? So no engaging means like you come into the zone, under that you join the zone, the under that is called aspiring bodhicitta, and then you listening, teaching, beginning to end is called engaging bodhicitta. Okay, so engaging bodhicitta is causes of Buddha. That's two types of bodhicittas. The bodhisattvas wanted to benefit others. They see that all the sentient beings is used to our own mother, loved ones. So they really wanted to benefit to them. That's why they're going to practice Dharma. It's that called altruistic intention. It's bodhicitta. This practice of bodhisattvas. Bodhicitta is called precious mind, precious mind. Why we call precious mind means like other, like previous lifetime, we didn't have that kind of mind. So hard to arise our mind. That's why it's called precious mind, precious bodhicitta. Precious bodhicitta is even the powerful kings, God, God and other realms, they don't have the precious bodhicitta. So long as precious bodhicitta arises in your mind, you are more better than all these worldly presidents, worldly kings, and worldly gods. You are more better than that already. That kind of mind is never born into our lifetimes. So only in this life we have that, like even you trust, you believe, you take the vows, truly not really born to your mind is bodhicitta, but you have aspiring that, you want to have that. It's called precious mind. So that's why or trust intention. This is the practice of bodhisattvas. No. Next is all suffering comes from the wish for your own happiness. Perfect Buddhas are born from the thought to help others. Therefore, exchange your own happiness for the suffering of others. This is the practice of bodhisattvas. In this each verses, actually, you go back to read the way of bodhisattva, maybe 10 verses, 20 verses. They're all subsumed into this one verses in the 37 practice bodhisattva. The way of bodhisattva has many different ways, like different angles, explain. This kind of, like teaching bodhicitta and this the whole, where is the Buddha is come from, all suffering come from the wish for your own happiness. All this samsaric beings suffering, where is it come from? It's from the wish for your own happiness. Wish for our own happiness is opposite of the bodhicitta. I mean the contradiction to the bodhicitta. So samsaric beings don't have bodhicitta. That's why stuck in samsara. You see this clearly. So long as you have a bodhicitta, you don't thinking about wish for your own happiness. Then who has bodhicitta? Perfect Buddhas are born from the thought to help others. See, that is the bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is bring us to the Buddhahood. And wish for our own happiness is bring to, we are in the samsara. So that's the clear, difference is. There's a very important section, Buddhist. Actually means like reality, truly, not Buddhist, So Buddhist means like usually we think it's who follow the Buddha, but actually this is truth statements. All the, Buddhas, sentient beings are same, no difference. Then why is it become difference? Sentient beings wish for own happiness, our own happiness. So Buddhas wishing for others' happiness. That's why it's become difference. We are stuck in samsara. Buddha is already liberated. So long as you have a perfect, Buddhas are born from the thought to help others. Long as you have a thought to help others, bodhicitta, we also can become Buddha. Buddha Shakyamuni and us in the first time is the same, both are like same ordinary person. So then where is Buddha Shakyamuni come from? Is his thought to help others. That's why he's liberated. Then why we are stuck in samsara? Because wishing for our own benefits. That's why we are stuck in samsara. We have one of the yogi realization song in Tibet. What his name is? His Nyima tradition. So mainland Lochin is Lochin means his Lotava is a translator. He translated Dharma in Tibetan language. He also wrote many philosophy books. A very famous teacher. When he was in Lhasa, so Lhasa has Chokang temple. Chokang means like Jo means Buddha's statue. Chokang, Kang means like temple. Chokang. Kangpa means Buddha's temple. So he went into that temple. They have a Jowo Buddha's statue. That Jowo statue is the first statue in the world, I think, Buddha's statue, maybe other statue, I don't know, in the world, the first Buddha's statue. So during the Buddha time, the consecrate and the blessing to that statue. We have a temple in Lhasa. So he went into the temple, he did pause stations, he have realization songs. He's the first Tibetan is Tangpo Ngadang Chunyin Rawala Chune Yindong Drepe Zosangje Ngane Randong Drepe Korwan Chang. So his saying is first you and me are same. You and me are same first. Tangpo Ngadang Chunyin Rawala is we are same. You benefit for others. That's why you are become Buddha. I am looking for my own benefits. That's why I'm stuck in samsara until now. So now I'm going to post it to you. So he did post stations to Buddha and he created this song of realization. It's a beautiful one. So same is exactly this one. We are stuck in samsara because wish for our own benefit. The perfect Buddhas are born from the thought to help others. So long as you have bodhicitta, then we have already causes of a Buddha there. Buddha is come from bodhicitta. Samsara is come from our own benefits, samsaric beings. So then one ground, two path, two result. So do you remember that? One ground is we are in the one ground, we all the same, one ground, but then two path is you have thoughts to have others, and or you have wishing for your own benefits, two path, two result, samsara and nirvana. So that's we have a choice where we're going. We can pick up our choice. But hard to get bodhicitta, intrinsic bodhicitta, right? Very hard to born in our own mind. That's not easy. We recognize not easy because many lifetimes so strong our selfish habituate, and that's why very hard to born authentic mind, bodhicitta, our own mind. So even you hearing these teachings also have lots of benefits. You know, if you hearing and contemplate, meditate, we just also receive like chant the opening prayer, bodhicitta intention. That's also create lots our karmic imprints in our mind. Bodhicitta is powerful. That's why all the Buddha's teaching actually essence is bodhicitta. Then we're going to practice yadam deity without bodhicitta. Also, it's kind of a danger, you know, say danger, very danger practice yadam deity without bodhicitta. So there's some people practice yadam deity that looking for own benefits. And without bodhicitta, they actually you using the sadhana, practice sadhanas, but see the Buddha is embodiment of bodhicitta. So you're going to practice embodiment bodhicitta. So without you don't have bodhicitta, and then you practice the yadam deity, but the yadam deity is really cannot be true to yadam deity. So that's why it's without bodhicitta and no requirement to practice yadam deity. Some people has a wrong view and strong emotion, and then you say, okay, I'm going to practice yadam deity. So your emotion use that, practice yadam deity, you see the, okay, Vajrakalaya is wrathful, I'm going to use this power. And looking for my own benefit, I want to subdue for others. So you're already against bodhicitta. You're already against bodhicitta, and then that is even form is like Vajrakalaya, but no essence there. The Vajrakalaya is bodhicitta, form of bodhicitta, but without bodhicitta, then you just use the image form Vajrakalaya, no essence. Then sometimes they said they go into the, you know, like spirits come into that form, and they become, so you practice is like wrong Buddha, is like, you know, wrong yadam deity, happening like that too, some people. So that's why without bodhicitta cannot practice yadam deity. So you read all this yadam deity's practice, always have bodhicitta first. Cultivate bodhicitta. Do you understand what I'm talking? Yes. So also you read this 37 practice first, then you read the sadhana, practice sadhana is very powerful. perfect Buddha born from the thoughts to help others. Therefore, exchange your own happiness for the suffering of others. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. Okay, so we can finish it today there, verses 11. Thank you, everyone. So we go to the practice sadhana, and then we can take questions, discussion. Sadhana, page 26. There's deity yoga sadhana. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Sure, at my own mind, with mind I look. With nothing to identify, it is just like space. With nothing whatsoever to see, vividly clear. In that essence, which is emptiness, I remain. Ranga zem lai zem jeti, nizo me ben nanganda, jayang mantong sangewa. Ngô Tôn Ba Nhị Tư Nê Om Mani Padme Hum Ro 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 Om Mani Padme Hum Ro 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 Om Mani Padme Hum Ro Mani Padme Hum Ro Mani Padme Hum
Mani Padme Hum Mani Padme
Ro
Padme Hum Mani Padme
Mani Padme Hum Ro Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Out of the experience of unimpeded emptiness, appearances arise unobstructed and vividly clear, without bias or pervasive, uncompounded, and with the nature of a clear light. Oh, wonderful! Tomba Sandhara Nganye Le Nawa Manga Salewa Rimi Kinchan Dimase Ranjin Usarangom Sarache Omane Peme Hongro Omane Peme Hongro Omane Peme Hongro Omane Peme Omane Peme Hongro 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 Omane Peme Hongro. Clear yet empty, and empty yet clear, clarity and emptiness indivisible, beyond thought and expression. This inner genuine state of perfect bliss is the automatic Lord Avalokiteshvara. Sar yen dong la dong yen sar, sar dong yer mi sam ju tar, len jin nyu ma de chin de. Ni dong jin re zi wang ye o man de bei me hong ro 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 man de bei me hong no man de bei me hong ro 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 man de bei me hong ro. Om man be me hong ro 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 man be me hong ro. Om man be me hong ro. Page 157. Kaju lineage dedication prayer. Dorje chang te lopa naropa marpa malarepa dharma lord gambopa pamutruba and lord digompa. Please bestow upon us most auspicious blessing of the Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may I achieve emanations, by defeating all enemies confusion. May all who traverse on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent precious mind, where it is unborn may it arise, where it is born may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activities are purified and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Manjushri Devero realized the automatic state, and as did Samantha Bada, I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddhas who attained the Trikayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I shall bear fruit. But this virtue collected in the three times by myself and other and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the inner rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings calculating unsurpassed perfect complete precious enlightenment. May the teaching of great Gomparana Shri, who is omniscient Lord of Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation at the end of the samsara. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Sure. Okay, thanks everyone. So now we can discussion.
Dojije Genla.
Eglet has her hand raised.
Oh, I have to go.
Yes.
Angela, may I ask a question?
Okay, Lami, yes.
Yeah, and in the Satara, that says something. Please forgive my ignorance. It says that from the Onga home at my three center, stream out way of light. What is the three center? I have no idea.
Three centers: your forehead, your throat, and the heart.
Okay, forehead. Thank you.
Om
Thank you so much.
Om is
Okay.
in your forehead.
Forehead, and heart.
Is in the throat. Home is in the heart.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Then Igor.
Hello. I want to ask, when you were talking about nine practice, you mentioned that the quotation, if there is in difficult situation, is good to think. If there is solution, so we can solve the problem. If there is no solution, so we accept and there is no worries. So sometimes I sincerely, when I have difficult some situation, I trying to value what now to do better, or to solve that situation. Maybe there is some solution, or maybe there is like no more solution. It's better stop to lose energy to try and just to accept. But sometimes it's like more clear, but sometimes like don't know what to do, missing clarity. So just don't, and this gives like anxious, maybe must to try again, or maybe just mind don't want to accept. So how to it's easy. This quotation maybe seems easy, but for me sometimes, not always, but sometimes it's like not easy at all. So I don't know how to when difficult, really, how to decide when you can solve, and really when maybe you must to accept. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So Mary, yes, can you explain a little bit short way?
She says it sounds easy but what if you don't see a clear path? What that statement, if there is a solution to the problem, then you don't have to worry. If there's not a solution to the problem, then you don't have to worry. She said it sounds easy, but it may not, it's not always clear if there is or is not a solution, and that ends up being the worry. Is that fair to say? Did I get what you were asking correctly? Did I get what you were asking? Is that true? Is that right?
Yes. That it is sometimes how to get to decide, or better to work on acceptance, or better to put more energy to solve, because some situations I just miss clarity, and it's like not always, but sometimes it's like.
No, I get it. Thank you, Igor. So the solution is like they have a solution or no solution. You try whatever you can do something, then just so like there's nothing solution. You cannot change that situation. So you see the solution, you can change. something, that's situation, that's you know, but have a solution and you try doing something works, that means have solution. If you try something doesn't work, then that means no solution. So the either ways, that means no need worried. Yes.
Tess is next, Kempala.
Okay, Tess.
This isn't my specific question, but I'd like to ask for a quick follow-up. Is the, I think I dropped a stitch. So you have either you can do something or you can't. If you've done the best you can and you can't do any more, then don't worry, either way. Is that the same as radical acceptance?
Yes,
Yay, okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
So I was hoping you might be able to briefly revisit this point where you were discussing use of yidam or not use of yidam in practicing bodhicitta, where you have not reached the level of being able to generate, when you first do this generation of ultimate bodhicitta, or is that let's see, there's two levels of relative, aspiring, what's the second relative?
It's engaging bodhicitta.
What? Engaging. So once you
Yes,
begin to engage bodhicitta, you can, in certain moments, manage to produce, that beginning sprouting of ultimate bodhicitta. A plant, when it first grows, has the two little leaves and then grows the real leaves. I think of it like that. So you
yes.
get the two little leaves, you've got a vital seedling, okay, that's going to sprout. So can you maybe like put a pin in the thing that is misleading, that involves the practice or not practice appropriately of yidam, and where you're attempting to practice the engaging of bodhicitta? Where's the intersection, the confluence of that?
Mm.
Anybody else think you can maybe summarize that more succinctly for me?
Okay, maybe simply.
I think what Tess is asking is how do we pinpoint when we're like, how do we differentiate? How do we know the difference when we can practice a yidam deity, when we have that bodhicitta, and when it's not safe? I think that's what she asked.
That's a good first step into it. Yes.
Okay, so that's why just when we practice yidam deity, you have to chant that opening prayer and look to your intention and okay, I'm going to practice yidam deity, wanted to Buddha, hold, liberate, reduce my emotions. I want to help others. So that's it.
Okay. Can I ask one, I hope it's simple question about the ability to identify your capacity to generate the yidam?
Yes.
If you can see other practitioners actually manifest, like they look, or some part of them looks, or they have the color of, or the facial expression of a yidam deity that they just wouldn't do on their own as portraying it. Okay, like you can see maybe a woman's whole throat turn red when she's practicing the consort for Chakrasambhara, or the leg of a practitioner, like actually light up with the color, with the foot in the form of those claws, like claw feet you see on the tankas, like that's what you're looking at. It's kind of scary, but is that an indication that
so you think about it. We can do your question later and think about
you want me to send an email or something?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so now it's Fred. Can you ask question, Fred?
Wait, Kempo.
Thank you, Tess.
Yeah, thank you, Rinpoche. What advice would you give for somebody whose personal ambition and desire for worldly success are interfering with their cultivation of bodhicitta?
So desire for, can you say again, desire?
For worldly success.
Worldly success through the desire.
Yeah, like desiring like a good reputation or that people esteem them or money or renown.
So that's if the people who don't know, then Buddhist, the 37 practice Bodhisattva, so you can have a desire like that is like called, not positive way, but no, you know, so 37 practice desire used for positive way. You create a positive desire. So changing the intention, like my desire means like I wanted to happen these good things. Okay, just wanted to like something benefit others. Yeah. So intention, just mindset is changed different ways. Right?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Julius is next, Kempola.
Who?
Hi. Hi, Kempo. Thank you for the teaching.
You're welcome.
I see there's a different session of the Mani Padme Hum and Mani Padme Hum Sri. How many times you have to recite? Is it just 7 times, 14 times, or?
It's unlimited, actually, no numbers, much ever you can.
I see, so it's based on our...
You are mute.
Oh, so it's based on our own personal kind of preference, I guess.
Yes, so we promise, like some people chant the 1 million mantra, Manu mantra, some chants like 100,000, some chants 100 times. So it's a dependent individual.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
You're welcome.
And Melissa is next. She's raised her hand.
Thank you, Kempola. Kempola, in Mahamudra, with our mind, we don't accept or reject any thoughts. So is it true that we don't accept or reject anything that arises in samsara? And what does that mean then if you say, if there's a solution, solve it. If not, let it go. At the same time, we're not accepting or rejecting whatever arises. Do you follow?
So I think they have 2 sections like called post meditation and in the meditation. In the post meditation, you can find the solution. But in the meditation, no rejecting, no accepting, no rejecting solution, no accepting solution, anything, just be in the nature. So but it's a depending, like, which level you are in the meditation or you are in the post meditation.
But from a Mahamudra view, there is no meditation or post meditation.
Until high level reach, they have. We enter like 10th level Pami Bodhisattva, we have like these 2.
Okay, up to that point. Okay,
yes.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
And then Rebecca Kempola.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, thank you, Kempo. I appreciated one of the things that you said. It gave a different depth to the garland, to the mala, with the chinrezi.
Yes.
Taking each being. I'm sorry, just a minute.
Yes. Yes, sir. liberating each being free from samsara.
Right, with each chanting. That was beautiful. Makes me cry. The other thing I had was about the suffering, whether you can change or not change the condition. What I'm hearing is confusion about the obscuration of suffering. In other words, you can change it or you can't change it. It doesn't matter. Worrying doesn't help. And worrying's not the same as finding a reasonable solution to a situation. I think there's confusion from the comments and questions I'm hearing is about the nature of worry as an obscuration. Does that make sense?
Yes, so there's actually many, different situations individually, thinking about the different situations. You can try solution, always, of course, we try solution. Then solution doesn't work, so no any solutions. So then worry doesn't have anything. So even have solution works, then no need to worry too, because the solution works. So the main point, the situation you cannot change, situation you have dealing, always like you have the situation, something go through or problems, something is there, but you can change your mindset, no suffering, no longer suffering with the situation. Yeah. Okay, next then.
Trinley had a question in the chat. I think they want me to ask it. So is part of engaging bodhicitta praying for those who really have the ability to help properly and wishing that they can help others?
Can you say again that, Marilyn, please?
Sure. So is engaging bodhicitta part of it, praying for those who have the ability, so like a guru, to help properly, that we wish that they can help others. So I think it means if we're praying to the guru to help others, is that engaging bodhicitta?
Yes, that's also bodhicitta. Like long as you not thinking about your own benefits, then that's always called bodhicitta. Whatever you use different method to thinking about the benefit others, is always called bodhicitta.
Thank you. There's no more questions in the chat and no one else has raised their hand.
I have a question.
I have a question. Yididi, you go ahead.
Actually, I have two questions. So verse 7, when we mention worldly God, what is an example of a worldly God?
Worldly God is a spirit and a mountain God. And so some powerful beings in the world has. We don't see them, but some meditator and realizes know them, see them. And some also ordinary people also sometimes can fear them, recognize. So that's called worldly God.
Okay, thank you. The other question is let's see. On page 26 of the Chenrezig Sadhana, where the verse says, appearances arise unobstructed and vividly clear. What type of appearances occur?
Anything, everything. Appearances means like you seeing the forms and whatever appear to your mind.
This is beyond emptiness, right?
Yes.
So there are appearances beyond emptiness.
So actually that's talking about called Sambhogakaya. means seeing mind. The main point is mind have clear aspects, or seeing appearing object is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Form is emptiness. You usually say form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Form is no other than emptiness. Emptiness is no other than form. That's it.
But this appearances here seems like it's beyond the understanding of emptiness.
Okay, 1 minute then. Page 26, right?
Yes.
Oh, 26. Yeah, this out of the experience of impeded emptiness, appearance arise unobstructed. So you mean that one?
Yes.
And very clear. There's a out of Tomba Santhar Nganyile, that experience of unimpeded emptiness. Namo Manga Saleva. So seeing form is emptiness. Okay, first sentence is seeing form is emptiness. Then emptiness is a form. The second is like appearance arise. Emptiness is arise form. And that form is unobstructed and vividly clearly. Means like you seeing, but it's empty. Empty is seeing. Seeing is emptiness. So just think about Heart Sutra. Usually we say empty form is emptiness. Emptiness is a form. The first verse out of the experience of unimpeded emptiness means form is emptiness. This all the form is emptiness. Out of this experience is a form of unimpeded is form is emptiness. The appearance arises is emptiness is a form. So that's the point. Main point is form is emptiness. Emptiness is a form. Form is no other than emptiness. Emptiness is no other than form. So read that more, and then helps.
Okay, thank you.
That's it.
Rinpoche,
Yes.
when we see form in our mind, when it arises a thought, like if we see the Buddha in our mind, that is emptiness as well, right? That's. I'm getting confused.
Can you say again?
So, form is emptiness and emptiness is form. We see the form in our mind, like we see the Buddha. We see the Buddha in our mind. That is emptiness, right? Too.
Yes.
Seeing the Buddha's form is empty. Emptiness form is Buddha's form.
But when we see it as a thought in our mind, it's also empty, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
This actually Dharmakaya form means like Buddha's body, Buddha's body, Buddha's speech, Buddha's mind means Buddha's body is emptiness. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Form is no other than emptiness. So that is Buddha's body. You seeing this form is not really needed to like Buddha's image. Or the form is Buddha's body means like you realize all this form is emptiness. That is the more higher level, okay, deeper level. I mean the inner level. And then if like temporary ways, like we say, all the form is Buddha means like you visualize Buddha, and then all this form is also like visualize Buddha's body. That's also the inner level, yeah, sacred level, all form is emptiness. Emptiness form is Buddha's body. There has levels, outer level, inner level, and the sacred levels depending on the individual how to recognize form is Buddha's form means. And this one is Mahamudra completion stage. So right now, EDG asked question that is Mahamudra, and talking about the Sambhogakaya is not only talking about the form is Buddha's image. The form is emptiness. So that is the Buddha's form. Generation stage is Buddha's form means we visualize all this form is Buddha's image. Okay. Next question, Laming. I think Laming has a question, right?
Yes, when you were talking about the Vinaya was to the Buddha, and the Mahayana about the Dharma, and the Vajrayana about the Sangha, I don't understand how Vajrayana related to the Sangha.
Oh, you understand, Laming. I forget, I shared that. You
just told me.
Intention, great.
No, I don't understand. I really don't understand why Vajrayana related to Mahayana to the Buddha, and to the Dhamma, and the Vinaya to the Buddha. I can understand, but I don't understand about the Sangha.
Sangha is Vajrayana says Sangha means, so we are Buddha, we are Dharma, we are Sangha.
So Sangha is not a specific group of people getting together, practice together. It's not Sangha, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's the Hinayana tradition. Sangha means 4 person. It's 4 ordained monks. It's have called Sangha.
Yeah.
But Mahayana, Vajrayana, 1 person realizer is called Sangha. Yes, no need for 4 people, 4 groups.
So if I don't realize, I have and not realize, so I don't have Sangha, that means?
You can realize when you meditate, yourself is Buddha. So then your body, when you practice Dharma, when you meditate, your body is a Sangha. So you chanting prayers, your speech is Dharma. And your meditate, your mind is Buddha. So you have that, you don't recognize, but Vajrayana say you have that. You just have to recognize what you have.
So I have to not only recognize.
Even you say, I don't realize, I'm not Buddha, I'm not Dharma, I'm not Sangha, but actually you are, yes. Laming, you are Buddha, you are Dharma, you are Sangha.
So if that's the case, everyone is the Buddha, everyone is the Dharma, everyone is the Sangha, isn't it true?
Yes, because Vajrayana means every sentient being is Buddha. That's why we create our precepts, is all beings Buddha.
So if all beings are Buddha, then we really don't have to help other beings because they are already Buddha. Why do we have to have bodhicitta to help others? Because everyone is Buddha. So why should we bother? We don't have to help Buddha. Buddha already perfect, isn't it?
Okay, that is called absolute truth bodhicitta. Long as you have that realization, it's called absolute truth bodhicitta. We're talking about the relative truth bodhicitta. So relative truth bodhicitta has aspiring bodhicitta, engaging bodhicitta. Then you get a goal is absolute truth bodhicitta. Is you beyond the, no subject, no object, no actions.
Okay, I have to think about it again. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. I told you the two types of bodhicitta, relative truth bodhicitta, absolute truth bodhicitta, right? Yes, so that's why, and the absolute truth bodhicitta is like you see the no subject, no object, no actions. It's nothing to have, nothing to benefit, So that is called absolute truth bodhicitta.
But when we want to aspire bodhicitta, we cannot just use the absolute because we really have to remind us that's other being we need to help, not helping ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah, so first we have to follow the relative truth of bodhicitta. Because
Okay.
follow our precepts.
Okay. Thank you, Kambula.
You get a higher level, then you follow the absolute truth of precepts. Then you have a different goal. So now we relative truth of bodhicitta is followed by our own precepts.
Okay.
So actually see heart and the cord. You know, heart is antidote cord, like frozen water is you put hot water and merge the frozen water. So that is the relative truth of bodhicitta. But then absolute truth of bodhicitta is become the hot water, cold water is inseparable. So it's called absolute truth of bodhicitta. Then you know subject object there to helping each other.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Genla, I have a question. Genla.
Imila, yes.
Mariette has a question also. She asked a long time ago in the chat. Just so you
I will wait.
Melia first.
So Rinpoche, you are a Bodhisattva and a Buddha. Are you coming from Sukhavati to help us?
So we are always Buddha and Bodhisattvas. We come to here is help for others.
But have you ever seen Sukhavati, Rinpoche? Are you coming from Sukhavati to help us?
Sukhavati, we visualize today, you know, like we visualize our place is Mon Potala Pioling. So that's a Sukhavati. So we did that practice today, right? We are all come to Sukhavati today. Come from Sukhavati. Thank you, Emula. And so next, who is Melissa?
No, Mariette.
Mariette.
Hi.
Hi.
I thank you, Kempo, for your teachings. There's just a question that came up here to me while you were giving the teaching, and I'm just trying to understand if, and in the beginning stages, when we read these precious teachings, it might feel contradictory, but as we continue practicing and meditating, we begin to understand from a different perspective. Am I correct to say this?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So actually, this all the yanas, like levels has contradictions, but it's like you practice and you get levels, no contradiction there.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I think that's it now.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, everyone, thanks very much. Ask a question, engaging.
Thank you, Kempo.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Sangha.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.